Porter, one of my favorite things this season is hearing you just talk about Rick Majerus and what Majerus would say. That honestly, I enjoyed that a lot, and wanted to ask you, what was his message? What did you learn from him when you enter postseason play?
He was big on not changing everything. Like it was just defend, rebounds. Like it was the same message every game about like it wasn't like, hey, we're in postseason now, or he was just you approach the game the same way. But I think one of the big things I take away is the constant focus of getting better. It was just relentless on teaching, getting better. And that's why we do our Get Better tapes every day. We show clips from practice. And that's why I think our teams and his teams were better in February and March, because it was such a relentless pursuit of getting better.
I know I asked you the same question right after the game on Saturday, but do you feel now how much that extra day off really means to the team, not having to be there today, getting extra workout on your home floor and prepare for Thursday?
Yeah, it's great. It's really good. We needed it because it just seems like we were you can look back on it, but how long weeks of Saturday, Tuesday, where you're having to, do some stuff on a Sunday and to prepare. And then you take your mandatory day off Wednesday, and all of a sudden you got 2 more days to prepare. And this is Saturday, Thursday. And it's much needed. It was great.
Porter, thanks a bunch. Good luck tomorrow night or Thursday night.
Thank you.
We'll go to Jesse Crittenden.
Porter, how are you?
I'm great.
Hey, I wanted to ask, I kind of asked Jordan the same thing, but coaches and players a lot of times say, you want to be playing your best basketball in February. I've heard you say that a couple of times. Just but I know that it's easier said than done, right? So, how big was it not only to win those 3 games in a row, but is that something tangible you can point to and say, we are playing our best basketball in February heading into, this part of the year?
No, I feel we are. And I think we're getting contributions from more guys than we've ever had. And whether we've had an injury here, Ethan was out, or a concussion by Bijan, or, CJ had his knee and Marvin had his ankle. Like it just seemed like it was a rotation. Now we know EJ's been out, but I feel like everybody else is ready to go, and they've gotten valuable contributions. They've all made valuable contributions to where their confidence level's up. Marvin's had some good games. CJ's had some good games. Bijan, Jacob, Ethan. Now we're deeper. And I've said this to nauseum that we've got to develop our bench. And we've had some growing pains with that. But I feel like we really hit on it yesterday. We should be really confident that we got a lot of guys that contributed in that Kansas State game. We got a lot of guys that can contribute in this Baylor game and feel confident with that. And I think I think we're in a good place with that we feel like the guys coming off the bench, it's just not going to go downhill. And that's what we got to have.
Well, kind of touch on something you said just a minute ago, like trying not to make the postseason a bigger deal than it has to be, right? You played Baylor twice in the regular season. How much can you learn from those 2 games? Is there a difference in preparation or game plan when it comes to the postseason, or is it, just like you're preparing for them in the regular season?
Well, it is. You asked me what Majerus was doing, or Eric asked me what Majerus was doing, and you don't want it to, but it is it's different in terms of it's a new season. It's fresh. The winner gets an automatic bid. The winner, and I know a lot of these teams are already in, but we got great opportunities. But for us to learn to play, we watched our Baylor games twice. We got to take care of the ball. They really number 3rd defense in the country. They really, really get up in you and force you to do things and speed up. They really force you to speed up with their athleticism and length. They went to switching 1 through 5, and they're going to switch Thamba on our guards, big and long. And they got Kendall Brown and Sochan. They're just so long in there. But we got to take care of the ball. You look at our game last time here, and we had 25 turnovers. And it was we went through like 8 possessions in a row. It seemed like a turnover in the first half, and it was still 25-21 at half. So we just can't spot them so many points. They're going to turn you over, but we got to have that in a manageable number where you're trying to get them like 12 and under, 10 and 11 and under.
I appreciate it, Porter.
We'll go to Bob Prisbello next.
Porter, I know you're focused on yourselves, don't really care what the committee thinks, but how important has it been to show them you guys can compete at a high level without EJ going down the stretch?
It's a great point. Because I do think in the back of their mind, sometimes they think that. And the fact that we've regrouped 1-3 in a row, playing very good. I mean, you look at, Oklahoma State went in, they went in and beat Iowa State, and then West Virginia beat TCU after we beat them. And then we just got Kansas State, who I thought played Texas Tech better than anybody. So absolutely. You look at the 4 line right now. We got 2 wins on teams that are on the top 4 line. Arkansas has moved on to that 4 line. So there's some things we just got to focus on taking care of ourselves. But, our strength of schedule, I think after the Baylor game, our strength of schedule is going to be like 1 or 2 in the country. I think it's 5 today. I think that's what it was. So, but it's so, yeah, that's we've just been trying to focus on taking care of ourselves. The Baylor game is for a lot of reasons for our tournament to advance in that thing, to get another top 4 line win. And so I feel that winning these 3 in a row, regrouping after EJ's injury is a great sign and a great message.
Appreciate it, Porter.
Yep.
We'll go to Justin Martinez.
Hey, Porter, appreciate taking time to talk to us today.
You got it.
I want to ask you about Clayton Custer. Obviously, a big part of your Final Four run at Loyola. I see you smiling already. Just what led to you bringing him onto the staff with the Ramblers, and now what have you seen out of him just in terms of his impact on the Sooner staff here?
Obviously, Clay was such a huge part of what we did at Loyola. Conference MVP, Final Four point guard. But then he was on our staff. He dabbled with overseas, dabbled with the financial world, and then decided he wanted to coach. And him and I had long conversations about it. And he's like, he's got his master's in finance. I mean, he's an academic All-American. I'm like, you really want to coach with all those credentials? And he did. And so he volunteered. He volunteered for us at Loyola. We went to the Sweet 16, and he knows so much and believes. He lived what the culture of what we're trying to establish. And there's nothing better to sell that than someone that went through it. It wasn't even a hesitation. When I got this job, I'm like, let's go. And so excited he's here. I know he's excited to get back to Kansas City. I know where the Big 12 tournament is. He's from Kansas City. But he's a huge part. And the guys know. I mean, you can just Google anything and see all the shot he hit against Tennessee. And he's been on that stage of a Final Four where all our guys want to be. And there's nothing like credibility like that.
I appreciate it, Porter. Best of luck.
Yep.
We'll go to Grayson Blaylock with the final question for Coach.
Hi, Coach. I wanted to ask you about Tanner Groves. You've mentioned how you've noticed his physicality improve in the last few games, but also his shooting's improved quite a bit. Where have you seen that come from specifically? And how do you anticipate his matchup with both Thamba and the rest of Baylor's front court going?
Okay. First part of that question about, where did I see the physicality come from? And, it's just what you achieve and you emphasize. Him and I have watched tape one-on-one. We've watched it with the team, showing him where he can be more physical. He gets to get lower leverage, be able to not worry so much about getting hit, but play through it. You can really see it in the rebounding. He was going after a lot of rebounds one-handed and getting knocked off balance. Now you see him leveraged going up. He had back-to-back double-doubles. And last game he's getting rebounds in traffic. It's just a great example of someone who wants to get better, someone who's humble enough to look at tape and accept what he needs to improve on and do it. And it's a great lesson for young guys. I mean, we sat there and it's not fun to tell someone, hey, you need to be tougher. You need to be stronger. You can't be. And we did that with him. And he looked at the film, accepted it, and he did something about it. And that's what you love in kids that are coachable. And he's made an intentional, we use that word a lot, intentional. He's made an intentional effort to be more physical, rebounding, posting up, and defending.
And then
Then the matchups, two different matchups. Thamba is a true center who's mobile. He's long. He's a space eater. I mean, he can move. And then Sochan, they'll play at the 5, is just terrific in terms of you can pop him, he can drive you, he can shoot the 3. He is a stretch athletic 5 that plays, and he'll play some 4 too. But you got to be able to guard Sochan on the perimeter. So he's got to have. We have two different mindsets there. With Thamba, he just so big, rolls, catches on the block, catches lobs, can post up, make those post moves, and then you got Sochan who will pop. Shot, he'll drive you, shoot it. Terrific player.
thank you. And then one final follow-up. Do you believe that if you beat Baylor on Thursday, that you will be in the tournament regardless of what happens with the rest of the Big 12 tournament?
I know those are questions for another conversation, so sorry, I can't think, but I think we got a really good case for a lot of reasons. I think we got a great, and I'll sound off on that later, but just really want all our focus about Baylor right now, and then in terms of other things to read and talk about. But I think we got a great case for winning these last 3 games. Some of the wins we have, our strength of schedule. Everyone's always talking about strength of schedule, play tougher teams. And it's going to be one of the top ones in the country. And even our losses, if you look at the team sheet, if you look at our losses, the average net ranking of all of our losses together is 31. That's crazy. We have 14 losses in the average. That means your average losses against top 30 teams, 31. So a lot of things to talk about at that time. Everything we're talking about our locker room right now is what is about Baylor.
For more information, you can visit tulsaworld.com.